Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Kane Atsutsuki here, and today I'm here with, hold on, let me check. What if Naruto was born as a tailed beast, part 4. Just remembered what it was called. And today guys, before we get into this video, let me just explain something. Now a couple of you guys were asking me why he was, why the woman, who I will say her name later in the video, okay, only those who pay attention will know it. If you're an idiot and you didn't get it by the clues, but yeah, pretty much. The woman's spirit is, well, you see, when Orochimaru was trying to create himself, make himself the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, that woman's spirit merged with him during the transformation, thus making that woman's spirit, and thus making that woman the Ten Tails. Now, here's another important thing. Hang about that though. You see, the woman's thought process, her emotions, her behavior, they merged in with the Ten Tails' inane insanity, thus creating a sort of sadistic personality. That is why she's basically a sadistic yandere murderer. And if you watched the third and the last video, you probably know who she's yandere for. But back to the vid. As now let's finally get back into this good what if. As Naruto would basically wake up, as he would, go outside and do a couple of laps around the village. Just some basic training, nothing too brutal, just 500 laps every every hour. Just 500 laps for an hour of going around the village. Nothing that harsh. As Naruto pretty much bench presses like 200 tons without breaking a sweat, as he's pretty much built. Well, you can't really tell it right now, as Naruto is, hold on, my phone's being dumb, come on, go back to, gah, no, don't zoom in, Jesus crikey, hold on, huh. But yeah, basically the thing that happened is Naruto was being trained by his dad and mom, well, whenever the Jinchurikis allow them out, as his parents have taught him how to, use their chakra and use his chakra correctly, and he told them what his chakra natures were, or what his Kikagenkai, or release, was. As he would say, it's called gravity and reality release. As everyone is excited about this, and as Kurama is excited about this, as he then thinks, my son is awesome, and he's strong, and he'll be a good king. Because, pretty much the Ten Tails was king of the Biju. However, Naruto comes along and he will pretty much become a king. As then Naruto pretty much he's just eating his breakfast, he still likes ramen. He's just eating some ramen as then there's an explosion or they hear people dying. They hear shrill screams saying, Where is the one they call the 11 Tails? As they see a woman in a full body sort of cloak with a hood on, as you can't even see her eyes because the cloak is just covering her whole body. And there's some sort of dark aura just keeping you from looking. As the woman then says, Where is the 11 Tails? As they're like, Don't kill us, please. Everyone's running away in fear, and Naruto walks out. As he then says, I'm the 11 Tails. Why are you hurting these innocent people? As Naruto is expecting the person to want to battle him or contain him or use his power for evil. And then the person just says, Finally I found you. As then suddenly Naruto sees, well, he can't really see it because the cloak, it's so big that it goes all the way down to the bottom of your feet and no one can see underneath. However, suddenly 10 giant roots and 10 giant white tails sprout out of the ground as pretty much the woman had the 10 tails go stay in the cloak this time as she had them go through the ground. As then the tails would wrap around Naruto and she would say, I'll be taking this. I'll be taking him if anyone wants to ever I'll be taking him until any further notice. If you want to see him again, you best hope. You best understand that there's a chance he might never be seen again. As then the 10 tails have wrapped around Naruto and he's just like, huh? 10? Wait, 10? As Yugito and Mito they just run over to Naruto and say, huh? Who's that woman? What's she doing to Who's that person? What they're doing to Naruto? I don't know, but it appears 10 giant fluffy things have just sprouted from the ground. See? As they then see the 10 ginormous white fluffy tails, or the white furry tails. As the tails then sink into the ground, still carrying Naruto, as the tails, they don't really sink into the ground, but they more or such go back into her back, except they're still carrying Naruto, so basically imagine he's just tied to the woman's back right now. As the woman then says goodbye, as she claps her hands, and as she then claps, well, no, she doesn't clap, she sort of stomps the ground and vanishes in a giant sort of, you know how Maleficent enters the room? Basically imagine that, except blue fire and sort of backwards blue fire fills up around the area, and basically blue fire spills out of the area, and then it all just disappears. Years as well. Basically, the blue fire turned into a ginormous sort of. Imagine a giant tornado or vortex that's just going upward, as in about, um, as in a random cave, in a random cave, Naruto hears, Naruto, no, in a random cave, the giant wormhole tornado thing strikes down, as it does not break the cave, but more such goes through it. As the as the person then takes off the hood, revealing the humanoid bunny face with the long white hair and the two bunny ears, the Rene Sharingan, and the white skin. As she then says, "I finally found you. Ah, perfect." As he then says, "Excuse me, who are you? And how are you even able to keep, how are you able to beat me? And how are you even able to, you know, tie me down? I'm the 11 Tails, the strongest tail beast." As the woman then says, "True, but you don't really have much experience." "Well, that is, you have no experience fighting against me." As the woman would then snap her fingers and the cloak would turn into a sort of Hagoromo looking cloak, except, well, with gold, with yellow and purple tomoe. As it would also be made for a female, so kind of have a skirt, or just a long goddess looking skirt. As then she would say, "I am the 10 Tails." As the bunny tail, as she then show the bunny tail, and it would transform into 10 giant tails. As she would then say, "Mine, I was originally, I wasn't originally the 10 Tails, but I guess now I am." Ah, yes. "And now that I found you, well, you're going to have to get, I'm going to basically feed you, I'm basically going to take care of you here, and that is until I'm able to we're able to leave this world, as we are going to the moon, where there's a whole bunch of nice, beautiful castles and buildings, as there I'll actually be able to talk to you, hug you, live with you, maybe even have a child or two." As Naruto then says, "Wait, before or any of that, how about we do a simple exchange of names?" Naruto says, trying to stall. All as she then says, "Oh, right, of course, you go first." As he then says, "My name is Naruto. I'm the son of Kurama, the 9 Tails, and Matatabi, the 2 Tails." As the woman then, and as 10 Tails then just smiles and says, "Well, I guess it's my turn. My name is Kaguya. I am daughter of the king. I'm a I'm a princess. My mother was a queen, my dad was a king. And she then says, and now you are the future king. As Naruto then says, wait, what? And she then says, oh yes, very much so. As Kaguya would then say, you see, for many years I've been watching you, looking after you, you know, occasionally just a casual whisper in your ear. As Naruto would then say, that was you? I should then say, yep. I should then say, wait a minute, that means you're watching me in the... Oh, jeez. As Naruto would then blush a sort of dark blue. As he would then say, oh god. As if you have no idea what I'm talking about, pretty much, let's do a couple year flashback. As Naruto would be in the Cloud Village, you know, he would be pretty much Naruto, it would be Naruto's 4th birthday. As I cannot remember, did I say Naruto lost his mom at the age of 5 or 3? Well, anywho, Naruto would be 4 years old, as he'd be washing in a nearby waterfall. As he'd then hear a voice saying, You look pretty nice. Are you going to out hunting or something? As Naruto would then say, who said that? Huh? Who? As she would then say, don't worry, silly. You can't really see me. Well, at least for now. Well, at least for now. As Naruto would basically have constant chats with this mysterious voice for basically for at least twice a week. As Naruto would say, oh jeez, that means you've been there during my showering and all that, and as he would be blushing bright blue. You know how Hinata has literally created her own color called Hinata Tomato Red? Well, Naruto just created himself Naruto Blueberry Blue. As he would be blushing, and he would say, my god, Jesus crikey. As he would say, how did you even find out about me? As Kaguya would then say, oh, I know a lot about you. For instance, I know who your quote-unquote grandfather is. I know who your parents are, your uncles, aunts. I know all of your crushes. And I also know about Ino. I also know about Ino, the flower girl. Yugato, the Jinchuriki of your mother. and Mito, the Jinchuriki of your father. All three of which have crushes on you and you sort of like them. But, well, you have two options here. Either A, you can not see them ever again and be chained up with and be basically chained here with me against your own will, or on the side you can sort of see them, like a little chat, maybe a hug, a kiss on the cheek, like that. And then you will spend most of your time being with me, getting to know each other, you know, all that stuff. Because, well, let's face it, they are mortals. I and you are immortal. Immortal love. And, well, loving a mortal isn't really the best thing for an immortal. After all, we all. And after all, it has happened before. As she would point out that she loved a mortal who, well, had some different. They had kind of the same views, but the mortal ultimately, in a way, betrayed her. As she said, mortals can be greedy, selfish, cruel, rude, mean. Immortals are perfect, understanding. They are absolutely perfect beings. And guess what? You are. And guess what? You are immortal. You are strong. You can be stronger than me. Of course, with experience and training. As don't worry, I'll train you in fighting and other things. And, well, maybe even some rewards, dates, all that nice stuff. As Naruto would then say, uh, 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 oh, okay, God, as Naruto would say, can I go back now? As she would say, no, just to, condition you properly, and just to, make sure you know where your loyalties are. You are going to be staying with me for at least a year. As Naruto would then say, a year? I should then say, yes, as we do a time skip of 2 weeks. Weeks as, well, Naruto would have basically been playing some icebreakers with Kaguya, finding out about her past, as Kaguya would be interested in Naruto a lot. As we do a time skip of another 2 weeks, as eventually Kaguya would begin teaching Naruto how to cook, then she'd be helping Naruto with cleaning, then she'd be teaching him how to lead or act like a king, all that stuff. As then Naruto, in her eyes, would become the perfect boyfriend. Hold on. As Kaguya would have taught Naruto, how to be emotionless and act like a king, like royalty. Basically, she would have trained him in all the stuff that is required in the future. And then that would take basically 6 months. As for the other 6 months, Kaguya would begin training Naruto in another way. In obedience, she'd be mentally training him not to cheat, not to like anyone else, as she would be making him an obedient, well, soon to be husband, as she had prepared everything, planned out everything, as eventually Naruto could, as then eventually for most of the day, and for the entire day, the only thing that Naruto could think about was his wife, or his soon-to-be wife. As she would say, ah, perfect. As the year would soon end. As she would say, alright, it's time to go. Alright, it's time to go back. As he would say, yes, yes, wife. I, yes, yes, Kaguya. As she, as pretty much the ginormous wormhole would appear, and then it would strike down right at the gates of the Cloud Village. As Naruto, well, he would actually be wearing this armor you see him wearing. As back then, he was wearing a, you know, Joning outfit. As he'd be wearing this, he would have, he'd basically looking like an emperor. As well, Naruto would enter, as then they would, and as then, Ino, Yugato, and Mito would be basically just walking around with flyers saying, have you seen Naruto? As he'd be asking everyone outside of villages, and even going as far to the Leaf Village, or what is left of it at least. As by now, the Leaf Village is the weakest of the villages, as it's kind of, in the works. And when I say that, I mean run down, has 15% of the people had. Weaker, they lost most of their scrolls, money, all that. So, yeah. As well, Sasuke, and as then pretty much the fifth Hokage. Yes, the fifth Hokage, which is not Tsunade or Jiraiya. The fifth Hokage, wait for it, Danzo, or no, Danzo would be dead. The fifth Hokage, Kakashi. Yes. Or no. Yeah. The fifth Hokage, Kakashi, would have. Basically, he would respect Naruto, as he would hate his fellow Jonins and all the others for trying to chain Naruto up and seal him. As he'd respect Naruto for you know, handling his problems like a man, for destroying his problems. As then, well, they back to the what if. Nar now Ino, Yugato, and Mito would all be pretty much their, walking back to the cloud with looks of disappointment and sadness. As Killer Bee would say, "Have you found him?" As they'd say, "No." As he would then slam his fist and say, "Damn it! Damn it! Where could he be?" As then they would then, as he would then chuckle and say, "Sorry, I didn't mean to make a pun." As they would then say, "Seriously, B? Seriously." And then the ginormous vortex would appear, as the three would then run over to it, thinking the woman has returned, probably to take another person or kill the whole village. As then they would see a, as then they would see the woman and Naruto, as they would see Naruto with combed hair, um, no headband, in Emperor's clothing, with armor on, as they would say, "Is that Naruto?" As he would then, as pretty much, they would then see the woman right next to Naruto, as they'd say, "Die, you." As then, well, Mito would say, "You, die," as she would swing her fists over, as she would pretty much try to punch Kaguya, as Kaguya would then grab her with with five white tails, as, well, Kaguya would then lift up her hood and say, "Please do not please do not punch me. I'm stronger than you, Jin, 9 tails Jinchuriki." As she would then use the 5 tails she grabbed Mito with and just thrown her. As she would then say, "I'm not here to fight or hurt anyone. I'm simply here to be here with Naruto, and with Naruto-kun." As they would then say, "Were you Naruto-kun?" As she would then say, "Oh, pardon my rudeness a year ago." As she would then take down her hood and say, "My name is Kaguya. My name is Kaguya, or you may call me the 10 Tails." As they would see a thin, bunny, and a thin, pale white-skinned woman with long white hair, bunny ears, and the Rene Sharingan, and a bunny tail, which she would then unravel into 10 tails. As she would say, "Naruto here is my mate." As Naruto would then say, and as they would then say, "Nuh-uh, is this true, Naruto?" As he would then say, I do not deny it. Lady Kaguya is my soon-to-be wife, as she has taught me many great things over the years. How to cook, how to act properly. She has taught me all sorts of ways to train. She's helped strengthen my abilities. Helped me. She's basically taking care of me for the entire year. As then, and well, I must say that brought along Hinata just us basically just as a friend, as Hinata would then say, and as would then say, Hinata, can you please check him? And she'd then say, of course. And she would check, and Naruto still has his virginity. And she would then say, he's still virgin, and she is still virgin. And, well, Kaguya, I know what you're all about to say, but she had 2 kids. How does that make her a virgin? Hold on. This is a new body. Meaning, this is a new body and a new form. Meaning that this body is a virgin. So, therefore, she is a virgin. As Kaguya would then wrap her 5 tails around Naruto, sort of just pulling him closer to her and hugging him. As, well, she would then say, I came here to bring Naruto-kun back. However, you 4 appear to be troublesome, as I don't want him falling for anyone else but me. So, just to make sure, or he doesn't, I'm going to be staying here with him. As they then say, what? Wait, what? As she would, and as Naruto would then say, hey, my beautiful wife, my beautiful Kaguya, could you please make us a home? As she'd then say, of course, my love. As she would then use, I believe it's the Yang release, and create a ginormous, and basically she'd create a house for Naruto and her. As she would then say, hey, is that to your liking? As he'd then say, of course, my wife. And of course, my beloved. As they would enter the house and, well, the 3 girls, Mito, Yugato, and Ino, would be angry. As they then say, hold up, who the crap is that? And what is she doing with Naruto? How does she even know about him? She's only known him for 1 year. As then Mito would, and as Yugato would then say, I've known him for most of his whole life. As, well, Ino would then say, I've known him for 2 years. As Ino and Mito, would say, I've known him for 2 years. As Naruto, as then they'd say, surely there must be someone who knows of a 10 tails, because that she doesn't appear to be, well, a combination of the 8 tails in Matatabi, of Gyuki and Matatabi, as that would make her an octopus cat. She doesn't appear to be a combination of Shikaku and, well, Kurama, as Kurama is not gay. She does not appear to be a combination of Chome or Isobu, as, well, Chome, yes, she's a girl. Isobu, a guy, but that does not give you a bunny. And then, well, Son Goku and Saiken, that no gives you, that does not give you a, well, that does not give you a bunny either. So she must be So she must be a original Biju. As, well, Mito and Yugato would enter their mindscapes as they would go to Kurama, and as the two would basically set it down and begin meditating with each other, as their mindscape would then double. As it's a conjoined mindscape, as, well, pretty much Yugato can see Kurama and talk to Kurama, as Kurama can see Mito and, as Kurama can see, Mito can see, well, Matatabi, as Matatabi can see Kurama, like that. As Mito and Yugato would enter the mindscape, as they would then say, "Is there such thing as a Ten Tails?" As then Kurama would say, "Yes, it is originally a combination of all of us." Like, the Ten Tails is a combination of all of us. So yeah. As then, and as then Matatabi would say, "Yes, but the Ten Tails, it does not look like a bunny. It looks like a tree." And then they would realize the bunny. Wait a minute. As Kurama would then say, "Wait a minute. What did that girl say her name was?" As everyone else could not remember. As Kurama would say, "Time to scroll through memories." As he would then begin playing a sort of digital, and as he would then basically play a memory on in the mindscape, as Kaguya, it would be Kaguya introducing herself, as he would then say, "Aha! Now," as he would then view his memories, and he'd just be skipping all the way, like, near the beginning, as he would see Hagoromo, or his dad, as he would ask his dad if he had a grandma, as as Hagoromo would then tell him what Kaguya looked like and what she was. As he then said, "My grandmother had bunny ear-shaped horns, and she was basically a goddess who was sealed in the moon, as she can return if the Ten Tails Jinchuriki is killed or stabbed. However, it appears that, wait a minute," as then Matatabi and Kurama would then remember Orochimaru. They would then remember Orochimaru sealing everyone. I'm putting the seals on everyone. And then he would leave, as they would then say, "Let me check the chakra." As they would basically begin to check their chakra and see that they only had half. As they'd say, I think I understand what happened. Orochimaru, that's the snake guy, Orochimaru, took our. Basically, he took half of our chakra. He, it appears that he has also taken part of the Ghetto Mazu, which would give him 10 tails. However, it appears that during the middle of the transformation, Kaguya got impatient and took over, and basically merged with the transformation on accident, thus making her the Ten Tails. So, wait a minute. Naruto's dating his great grandma? As Kurama would then just say, I mean, I can't judge. I dated my sister and and I mean, my father dated mortals. My father dated a mortal. Then my brother, or his biological son, kind of dated like one of his siblings or something, or his cousin. And I mean, yeah, it's kinda all just confusing and discombobulating, as he would then say. So, yeah. Pretty much, I can't disagree. But why would a goddess want to be with Naruto? Hmm. As they would then say, we'll ask Naruto in the morning. As in the morning, Naruto would be I'm going to go get food. As they would see him, and then they would ask, "Hey Naruto, question: How long have you met? How have you known Kaguya?" As he would then say, "Oh, since I was 4." As they then say, "Wait, what?" As he would say, "Ah, yes. Um, there's always been kind of a voice, telling me things, teaching me things, helping me around everywhere. It turns out that was Kaguya." As well, as then he would then say, "She's a very nice woman indeed, and eventually she'll be my wife." As Naruto then said, which means eventually you'll be able to have my kids. What an honor to have a goddess, and for a goddess to have and for the Ten Tails to have my kids. As Naruto would then say, huh? And as they would then say, huh? As he would say, oh, yes, it turns out that she's my great grandma. She kind of is a goddess and a queen of gods as well. She's been teaching me how to act like royalty. As then he would say she's teaching me how to fight, prepare myself. She's teaching me how to fight, defend myself. All those basic things. As then, well, pretty much Kaguya would walk near Naruto and say, "Ah, Naruto-kun, it's time." As he'd then say, "Wait, you're serious?" As she'd say, Yes, of course I'm serious. I'd say, serious about what? As Naruto would then say, oh, we're leaving. Well, I mean, soon we'll be leaving. Isn't that right? As he'd then say, yeah. As she'd then say, yeah. There's just one thing we need. As they'd then say, as he'd then say, what is that? As Kaguya would then say, we are going to need a buttload of chakra, like possibly all the chakra that is on the earth. And then we will need two eyes. One, we will need an evolved, and one we will need is a Tensegon, basically the most evolved version of the Byakugan imaginable, which in this Hinabi has, because I don't like killing off Hinata. Okay? We will then need a sort of new type of Renee Sharingan, and then we will need, and then we will just need a Golden Renegon and a, well, yeah, we would need a Golden Renegon, a Tensegon, and a special Renee Sharingan. Oh, and then I also forgot. We would need a Katsuragan. Well, no. We would need a... This, by the way, is a new type of dojutsu I'm creating. But it's only for this what if, as it is called. No, yeah, as it's called the Liagon. I'm the Leolagon. As the Leolagon, basically, it grants one the power to see hundreds of possible outcomes. Basically, it gives you Doctor Strange's powers. As, well, Naruto would then say, alright, so where is the first thing on our list? The Tensegon. And she would then say, the Leaf Village. As Naruto then say, good, we can begin packing, and we can begin going on that hunt tomorrow. As Kaguya and Naruto would walk into their home, as the whole building would begin floating. As Kaguya would then say, I don't want any of you trying to stop Naruto from being with me, so yeah. Naruto is lowering the gravity for the house, as it's just floating there. Not going up, not going down, it's just staying in orbit. As sorry, as well, Naruto and his wife would walk into their home and begin to sleep. As that is where this what if ends off. Well, at least this part. Hope y'all enjoyed. See y'all later. Peace and goodbye. By the way, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell me whether or not you knew that the woman was Kaguya, and be 100% honest. I know if you're lying, and I will appear at your window tonight and murder you if you do lie to me. Understood? Okay, goodbye. And yeah, kaboom.